City's construction sites to the courtrooms. This is Hard Hats and Justice, where real stories of injured workers and their fight for justice come to life. Presented by Gorayeb and Associates PC, standing up for New York's workforce for over 40 years. And now, the host of Hard Hats and Justice, Chris Gorayeb.
Hello, this is Chris Gorayeb, bringing you episode 3 of Hard Hats and Justice. Today we will have the judgment they tried to erase. Back on July 25, 2016, a woman named Nellie Garcia was working in construction at a new hotel being erected in Queens, New York. That hotel had a tendency to have a flooded basement, and it was Ms. Garcia's job to clean up the mess every time it flooded. On the day of the accident, she was directed to go down a metal set of 12 stairs to the basement with a mop and a bucket to dry things up. Unfortunately, the stairs were wet and slippery, and as she tried to descend the stairs, she slipped and fell approximately 10 steps down into the basement, severely injuring her back. The boss, upon learning of the accident, refused to call an ambulance. In fact, he said to Ms. Garcia, "Go home, and if you need medical attention, tell them that you got hurt at home. I will pay all of the bills. Don't worry about a thing." Now, why would a boss do something like that? Why would a boss ask his or her employee to not tell the truth? The simple answer is to save money. How would someone save money in that way? Well, if the employee says that they weren't hurt at work, then they won't be entitled to workers' compensation, and the boss will save money. If the employee says, "I wasn't hurt at work," then they won't be able to hire an attorney to start a lawsuit against the building owner and enforce their rights pursuant to the New York State labor law. That is what many, many employers try to do. And that's what they tried to do to Mrs. Garcia. Instead, Ms. Garcia hired my law firm, Gorayeb and Associates, and we started a lawsuit for Ms. Garcia, suing the building owner and the general contractor, alleging that they were both negligent and had violated the New York State labor law. We served a summons and complaint upon the defendants through the New York State Secretary of State. And what happened? They ignored the service of the summons and complaint. We wrote letters to them. They still ignored it. They were hiding. Ultimately, we filed a motion with the court asking the court to grant a default against the defendants who refused to respond to the lawsuit. And the court, in fact, did grant that motion and issued a default and ordered that there would be a mini trial to assess or to determine how much money Ms. Garcia should receive. We had that mini trial, and the judge awarded Ms. Garcia $5 million. After that, the real fun started, because the defendants, despite that judgment, still continued to hide. They pretended that there was no lawsuit. And ultimately, when we hired the sheriff to try to force a sale of the building, they then responded. And what did they do? They denied that they knew anything about the lawsuit until very recently. They tried to get a judge to set that judgment aside, and the judge refused. Then they tried an appeal, and the appellate court refused. And after all of that, they then tried to go to the highest court in New York State to try to get the judgment set aside, and that failed. And then ultimately, in a last-ditch effort, they went to federal court, and nothing good happened there for them. Ultimately, through the efforts of my law firm and the efforts of the sheriff, they agreed to pay Ms. Garcia millions of dollars. Why did they do that? Because they knew if they didn't settle with us and compensate her for the injuries that she had sustained, including needing surgery on her spine, that we would force the sale of their building, we would take their building away from them, and they would have nothing. I'm very proud of the work that we've done for Ms. Garcia. It was possible that she would have ended up with nothing. But through our efforts, through years and years of work, we were able to get her substantial compensation from defendants who wanted to hide and pretend that they were immune, that we couldn't find them, that we couldn't obtain justice. And ultimately we did. This is the story of Ms. Garcia. This is the last episode of Hard Hats and Justice. And I look forward to seeing you again and telling you more stories about justice in New York, how we obtain it, and how we can benefit you. Thank you very much.
You've been listening to Hard Hats and Justice, where the voices of New York's workers are heard, honored, and defended. Brought to you by Gorayeb and Associates, PC, fighting for the rights of injured workers for more than 40 years. If you or someone you know has been hurt on the job, visit us anytime at Gorayeb.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and keep standing up for justice.